Good morning. Good morning, my sweet boy.
Alexa, what's the weather today?
Right now in Charlotte, it's 69 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies. Today's forecast has high temperatures, with a high of 95 degrees and a low of 69 degrees.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, May 29th, and today is the first day of EOG testing. We are taking the reading EOG. In North Carolina, they're called end of grade tests, so it's EOG. I don't really know what they're called other places, but I do know that different states have different names for the standardized tests the kids take at the end of the year. But today we have our reading test, so I am leaving super early. It is only 6:09, but I'm going to stop at Dunkin' Donuts and get donuts for my students. So every year I try to do, something cute and creative to motivate them and help them de-stress before they take, huge test that basically defines their fourth grade year. So this time I'm going to get them donuts. I'm going to write a cute little message that says donut stress, you can pass the test, with some motivational things underneath it. I believe in you, so you should believe in yourself, things like that I'm going to post on the board for them to do as they come in. So yeah, the reason why I'm leaving so early is because, yes, I do need to stop at Dunkin' Donuts, but also I need to make sure that everything is ready and prepped for the test. So we have to have our desks in rows, which I did yesterday with my students. We have to take everything off the wall, which I also did with my students. But, there's just like manuals you have to read, and our dean sent out this PowerPoint that goes over some of the things that you need to know. I just panic a little bit because the EOG is a very important test, and I want to make sure that I'm doing everything right so that we don't have what they call a misadministration, where basically we would all have to retest. Not to mention, this is also the first year that we are taking the EOG online. So I need to make sure I can log in. My password is easy so that it doesn't take me 10 years to log all my students in, just things of that nature. So I am really, going to get to school and get the job done so that I'm not stressed this morning. I have my breakfast in my lunchbox. I'm stopping at Dunkin' Donuts now. I'm going to pick me up a coffee that I have to chug before we can test, but I can do that, no problem, because I'm tired. So yeah, I will catch up with you all when I get to school. I'm on my way to pick up the donuts now. All right, so we are officially ready to test. The desks are all in rows. It's a little bit tight because I'm, in a small trailer, a little crusty, but we are ready to test. All right, so this is the cute little note that I put on the board that they will see as soon as they walk in. It just says, "Donut stress, you will pass the test." If you want to pause and read it, you can. Just a quick little motivation for them. And then over here I have some donuts. So I got 6 glazed, 6 chocolate frosted, 6 vanilla frosted, and 6 strawberry frosted. So they have a choice. And then our school provided these coloring sheets. I think it was like last week. And I kept them until today so they can use them in the morning to kind of de-stress before the test, color a little bit before we get ready to test. So yeah, I have some instrumental music playing like I always do, and I'm ready for them to come in. Now I'm about to sit in the back of the room and do a little bit more preparation, reading over some documents, making sure I have all of the logistical things done. All right, so just a quick overview of what I'm reviewing before the test. So our dean made this ABCs of EOG PowerPoint, so it literally goes through different things that we will need to know for the test today. So I'm going through that, making sure that everything is, you know, fresh in my brain. Then I also had to go log in and make sure I knew my password for the online portal where I'll have to log the students in for the test. I'm not going to click on it because it contains, you know, sensitive information. Went through all of my emails in the EOG part. I just typed in EOG in my search bar and read all of the emails to make sure, again, I'm updated on everything. I do have to turn in my cell phone, so I'm going to sit in my room until probably about 7:15. Then I'm going to walk down to the office and get, you know, all my testing materials, turn my cell phone in, and then I have to come back to the room to chug this coffee because I don't think we can have anything like in a cup that's clear. So I'm going to chug my coffee. I have my water in this pink cup here, and I'm going to clean up a little bit. It's really crusty in here, so I'm going to clean up a little bit, make sure everything's set up before I go get my testing materials and turn in my phone. All right, so I am fighting daylight here, but I thought I would let you all know how my day ended up. So the kids took their reading EOG. They did 3 hours in the classroom with me. We had lunch, and then there was an hour left that students could use if they needed it. So I took the students who were finished to another teacher's room, and we started watching Wonder. It was a little bit chaotic because I had about 30 or so students in there, and that's way more than what I'm used to. So it was chaotic, but it was fine. I will say I was super exhausted at the end of the day, but if you are a new teacher and you have not done standardized testing yet, it is exhausting. You literally are just walking around a room repeatedly, doing nothing. Like, you can't have your cell phone, you can't have a book. They're just allowing us to even have coffee this year. So it was super exhausting. I'm so tired, but I ended up going to an event for the Collective, which is a Teach for America like sub organization for people of color. And it was really fun. I didn't really want to go because I was tired, but my coworker is the vice president of the Collective of Charlotte, North Carolina, or the Charlotte Piedmont Triad. So I went and I had a really good time. I'm glad I went. It was nice and motivational. Now I have a couple of things to do before I head to bed. My fiance is on his way back from Fayetteville. His younger brother graduated high school today, so I'm gonna try to stay up and wait for him, but we'll see what happens. Tomorrow we have a day off from testing, so we're gonna do some review games for math because they are taking their math EOG on Friday. So that's what I'm gonna be prepping tonight, and then there's tomorrow, and then there's Friday, and then there's one more week of school left, and I could not be more excited. I could not be more excited. Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, May 31st, and I am currently on my way to Chick-fil-A to get some breakfast. It is about 6:10, and we have our second and final EOG. Today the kids are taking their math EOG. This one should be a little less painful than the first one. It's only 2 hours with me and then an extra hour in another classroom if they need that extra hour. So this one should hopefully fly by. I just feel like the third hour with the reading one is what gets me every single time. So yeah, I'm on my way to get some breakfast. Today's little treat for them is a little note that says, I know your EOG scores will be popping. So I have some Pop-Tarts and some orange juice. So I'm going to get to school kind of early to put, you know, the Pop-Tarts on plates and pour the cups of orange juice so the kids can have those as soon as they come in and have time to get settled and do a little bit of coloring to de-stress before we take our test. I will update you all maybe this afternoon, maybe this morning on how they performed on their reading EOG. But yeah, that's definitely a conversation when I have more time. I am pulling into the Chick-fil-A drive-thru now, so I will talk to y'all when I get to school. Hi, can I have a 4-count chicken mini meal, please?
You got it. What would you like to drink tonight?
Can I do a large strawberry passion tea lemonade?
Yes, ma'am. What else can I get for you?
That's all.
For that total, it's going to be $6.66, but we have serious windows.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
My total was $6.66. Message that I have for my kids this morning. It just says, I know your EOG scores will be popping with Pop-Tart background. And it reads, y'all have worked so hard in math this year. I have seen a lot of you grow tremendously since the beginning of the year. Take your time, but not too much time. Remember your strategies and double check your work. I'm expecting all 4s and 5s, and you should expect the same because you can and you will. Grab a Pop-Tart and some orange juice and de-stress with your coloring sheet. So I ended up having to cut some plates in half because I didn't have enough for everyone to have a plate, but the plates are huge, so but the plates are huge, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And not to mention, they're going to grab just one Pop-Tart from a pack. I was gonna get everyone their own pack of Pop-Tarts, but my fiance was like, that's just kind of a lot for them. So the 3 flavors that I got are s'mores, brown sugar, cinnamon, and cookies and cream. Hopefully they like one of those. But yeah, so this is the setup for the morning. They have orange juice, they have a Pop-Tart. I'm going to pass out their coloring sheet and sit down and do a couple of things on my computer before I go get my testing materials and turn in my cell phone. Okay, so by computer work, I meant get on YouTube and get lost in the world of YouTube. But hey, there's me. But everything is set up this morning. My air conditioning has been broken for the 1000th time. The custodian came in and said they should have fixed it, which feels like they did because it's freezing in here this morning, but I guess we'll see as time goes on. Please excuse the loud music in the background. This is just how I greet my students every day. But everything is set up for the morning. I don't really have anything to do on my cell phone, so I think I might just go to the bathroom and then go pick up my testing materials and sit in my room and watch a little bit more YouTube before my students start coming in. Yeah, I need to go pick up some more calculators because one of the other times that I didn't have air conditioning, I went into the trailer beside mine and I took my calculators with me because we had like a quarterly assessment. So I need to go get the calculators back so my kids can use them today for their test. But besides that, I guess I'll just talk to you all later. Actually, no, I think I'm going to update you on how the reading EOG went. So how can I say this? My students didn't do very well. As you know, I became a reading teacher in March because my partner teacher left for Washington, D.C. And, you know, I did all that I could for my kids the last 2 months before the EOG, but honestly, at the point when I got them, the damage had already been done. There wasn't too much I could do to catch them up on the things they didn't receive before me. So I did what I could. I honestly expected it to be better than it was, so I was really disappointed yesterday when I saw their scores. It's really going to break my heart to tell them because I know a lot of them are going to be upset because a lot of them went backwards from 3rd grade, which is never good. But also, it's frustrating for me because I have to claim their data, even though I'm not responsible totally for what they received. It's still on my record as like I taught them. So that's a little bit frustrating and overwhelming, but at this point there's really not much that I can do. I just honestly feel so bad for them going into 5th grade with these low reading scores and just being so behind. I think they're going to really struggle. Not to mention for their self-confidence and self-esteem, this is going to be like a huge, you know, kick in the stomach for them. So I'm not looking forward at all to telling them about what they got on the reading EOG. I'm just really hoping that their math scores are better. but as some of you may know, if you are a North Carolina teacher, they changed the math EOG last minute, and because of that, we will not be getting scores back for the math EOG until about September. So I have to tell them that they failed the reading EOG, and then they have to wait all summer to figure out how they did on the math one. So it's not going to be a good ending to the school year, but I'm trying to think of ways to keep them motivated and keep them, you know, uplifted, because, you know, it's not the end of the world. I'm not failing anyone in my class. So they will go on to 5th grade. But again, it's just sad for them that they have to keep this score on their record and go into the summer knowing they didn't do as well as they wanted to or hope they were going to. So I don't know. That's my little spiel about that. I just really think that you have to care about your students to be a teacher, and you have to be able to make sacrifices and do everything that you can to help them succeed. And when you don't do that, it shows, and you know, the kids suffer. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm hoping that, you know, they're not too heartbroken about their scores and that they do much better on math, which I believe they will, because typically students do well or do better on math. So yeah, with that, I'm going to go take my phone to the office, pick up my testing materials, and I will catch up with you all later after school or whenever I get my phone back. All right, everybody, it is 3:30 and I am still at school. So today grades were due, and I knew they were due, but I was being stubborn and I didn't want to do them. And honestly, I had really forgotten about it, but then right at the end of the day, the principal made an announcement reminding us that grades were due. So I was going to, you know, be a bad student and leave, but you know, that's not my character. So I'm here and I'm working on them. Who knows how long I will be here, but I figured while I put in some grades, I would kind of tell you about how the EOG went. So today we took the math EOG. I think that it went fairly well. They had 2 hours to take it with me, and then they received an additional hour if they needed it. Most of my students needed the additional hour. So typically the EOG is about 54 questions. This year it was 46, and they took away an entire hour from them for 8 questions. So most of them needed that extra hour, like, to make it a full 3 hours in order to finish their test, because I mean, 46 questions, like, that's, I don't know, not enough time, I don't think, especially because we tell our kids to double and triple and quadruple check the work to make sure they don't make any small mistakes. So I ended up keeping my kids in my room because most of them weren't done, and we finished testing at around 12:50 or 12:40, something like that. So they give us a break for lunch, obviously, because the kids have to eat, but then we have to finish after they eat. So they eat a solid lunch, you know, if they're not talking about the test, and then we finished out. So yeah, EOG testing is finally done. I'm so relieved and excited because I really loathe watching kids take a test for 3 hours. It is just so boring. It's so boring. But I told some of my kids what they got on their reading EOG. I told the kids who got a 3, a 4, or a 5 because they are doing a activity or like a carnival on Monday to celebrate the kids who did really well on their EOGs. And it really sucks because most kids do well on math, but we won't know their math scores until September. So whereas I literally have kids who got a 1 on the reading EOG and will most likely get a 5 on the math, but they still can't go because we don't have those scores back. So I told them there were some tears. Kids who are typically used to being called for having a 3, 4, 5 who weren't called this time were very disappointed in themselves. But I really had to give them a pep talk and tell them that yes, you didn't do 12 this year on the EOG, but at the same time, you have to understand that you've been through a lot this year and not all of it is your fault. So I had to remind them that, like, yes, you're a student, you're expected to do well, but you still need a teacher, and you need a teacher who's going to help you do the best that you can. I didn't say it in those words exactly because I never want to talk bad in front of my students about another teacher or somebody who's important to them, because their other teacher was important to them. And, you know, I don't blame her for leaving. Like, that was her prerogative, her deal, whatever. But they've been through a lot of changes this year, so I don't feel that they should really beat themselves up for not doing as well as they could have. So I did tell them that. But after the EOG was over, I turned to my testing materials, came back to my class. The AC is still broken in here, so we went next door and we watched a movie. I think it's called like Yours, Mine, and Ours. And my kids just really want to show out these last couple of days of the school year. Like, they want to show out so bad, and usually I'm so patient and I'm so sweet and whatever, but my patience is just non-existent, y'all. Like, I just can't deal with it at all. Like, I'm so over it. I'm so over the disrespect. I'm so over the disrespect of me and of other students. Like, I'm ready for summer. Like, I love my kids most of the time, but today I'm ready for summer. Like, I'm just ready for this chaos to be over with. So we have 5 more days now. We have all of next week, and then next Friday is the last day. So I'm really excited about that. I am going to finish these grades and then try to go home. But yeah, like, this is how it is with testing. I wanted to kind of vlog and show you 2 days of a teacher in a testing grade to kind of show you what it's like. I like to get to school early so that I can make sure I have everything set up, all my ducks in a row. We have to turn in our cell phones here. I'm sure it's like that other places too, but we have to turn in our cell phones, and all electronics have to be turned off for the kids during the test. And literally all we do is walk around and watch some tests. Like, we can't read a book, we can't do anything. So it's kind of boring. But I wish I could give you an update on how my kids performed on math, but I can't because, like I said, North Carolina changed everything last minute, so now we have to wait until September. But I do think from what I saw, they did pretty well. Like, I was reading the questions, looking at their papers, you know, without hovering, and they were on the right track. Now, if they made small mistakes, I obviously wouldn't have been able to catch that, but from what I saw, they were on the right track. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I saw today. I'm thankful that it's all over. I need to finish my grades, and then I'm gonna plan some like fun science activities for the last week of school to get them introduced to 5th grade science content and to give them, you know, fun stuff to do. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about being a teacher in a testing grade level, the kind of stressors that it may cause, things of that nature, please let me know in the comments, and I will definitely respond to as many people as I can, or everyone, because there may be one comment. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. I am really trying to get to 100 subscribers, and I'm about a quarter of the way there. So please subscribe if you are not subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Bye.